This is how you would break a coconut when you have no other choice. Put it in a Ziploc bag, take it outside, bang it on the concrete a few times, and bingo. Coconut oil is good for your hair, your skin, to remove makeup, and healthy for cooking. Today I want to show you how I make coconut oil at home, and I will also show you how you can benefit from the byproducts. When you make coconut oil at home, nothing goes to waste. But first I want to take a moment to say special thank you to every one of you who have been watching and supporting my channel. I appreciate it very much. It means more to me than you'll ever know. Thank you. Now let's get busy cracking some coconuts. I like to put the coconut in a Ziploc bag to crack it. This will help to trap any shattered shells and will also catch the water so it doesn't overspill and make a mess. I'm using a hammer to crack it. You can use any blunt object you have in the house, but you have to apply some force because the outer layer, the shell, is very tough. You may have to hit it a couple times depending on how powerful your force is, and when the actual nut is cracked, you will hear a different pop song and water will start seeping out. This one just popped. I'm going to remove it from the bag. Wow, this is beautiful. This is a mature coconut, guys. The flesh is thick and white. And when you're looking to buy coconut for oil, always look for the mature coconut. They are usually the ones with the brown shell and has the most milk. If you notice the color of this coconut shell is more of a deeper brown, it's because I washed it just in case I decided to drink the water. I'm going to pour the water out and I'll break the other coconut in the same bag. Next, we're going to carefully pry the flesh away from the shell. I'm using a coconut flesh remover tool I bought from Amazon and it works great. I used to struggle with the knife to get the flesh out from the shell, but this little tool is amazing. It makes my job a lot safer, easier, and faster. However, if you don't have one, you can use a butter knife, but please be careful. Look at how easy the flesh is coming out. Isn't this tool amazing? I got 3 coconuts, guys, and they're all beautiful, mature, and old, kind of like me. And these are the shells from the 3 coconuts. You don't want to throw them away. You can use them to light your charcoal grill. It's safer than the petroleum and it burns hotter and longer than the regular briquette. Now you want to thoroughly wash the nuts. You want to make sure you get rid of any excess shell that may still attach to it, because if you don't catch it and it goes into your blender, it could break it. Next, we're going to cut them into smaller pieces to go in the blender. And if you don't have a blender, you can use a hand grater. If you're using a hand grater, try to grate it to the finest. This will help you to extract more milk and easier. Coconut is considered a sacred fruit. It is being used in many religious activities. It also has tons of health benefits. Next, we're going to put it in the blender to extract the milk. You want to add hot water, not piping hot, but moderately hot. The hot water will soften the nuts and make it easier to blend. And you want to make sure you process it to the finest so you can extract all the milk. And I'm going to process it 2 times in the blender. The first time I added 2 cups of water to 1 coconut. And the second time I'm going to add 1 cup of water to 1 coconut. It's always good to process it 2 times. This way you get all the milk out. I'll pour it out in a bowl and then we'll squeeze out the milk. I'm using my nut squeeze bag. You can use a cheesecloth or any piece of clean cloth that will allow the liquids to pass through and capture the solids. Give it a good squeeze. You want to get all the milk out. And I have these amazing little utensils. I bought them from Home Goods. It's kind of like a strainer, but it catches the tiniest particle. I will pass the milk through it once just in case any of the coconut solids slip through. You want to have pure white coconut milk when you are done, no solids. And I can see it already catches some tiny pieces of the coconut. Obviously, it's doing a great job. And the hardest task for this production is over, guys. We got some nice pure white coconut milk. I will cover it with some plastic wrap and then I'll put the bowl lid on top and leave it at room temperature for about 2 days and fermentation should take place. But please stick around. I want to show you how you can utilize the byproduct. So this is the byproduct waste we got from extracting the coconut milk. But it's not really waste product. We can actually make coconut flour. I'll spread it out on a baking tray. You can put it in the oven to toast and get rid of the excess water, or you can leave it overnight in a warm place. I'm gonna cover it and leave it overnight in a warm place. After about 16 hours, most of the moisture evaporated from the leftover coconut pulp. I emptied it into a cooking pan and I'm going to toast it on low heat for about 5 minutes to get rid of any extra moisture that may still remain in the pulp. You don't want to have any moisture left when you put it in the blender, otherwise it will turn into like a paste. I'll keep stirring it so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. This feels very loose and dry. I'm going to turn the heat off and let it cool down before putting it in the blender. And guys, you will need a powerful blender. Unfortunately, my power blender broke and I didn't replace it yet. Hopefully this one will get the job done. The texture is not that smooth and I know it's because of the blender. And this is the end product of the leftover coconut pulp. It's not completely flour texture, but you can definitely use it in many cooking recipes. And it's healthy and gluten-free. So after about 30 hours, our coconut milk fermented, but the top layer, the cream and the curd was a bit too soft. So I put it in the freezer for 15 minutes so it can solidify. And here we have it, guys. The cream and the curd nicely separated. I'm just inserting a knife to cut it. Now we're going to extract the oil from this cream and curd. And the leftover water, guys, you can use it for pedicure. It works well to soften the cuticles and calluses. And this is it. We got some thick, rich cream and curd. You want to put it into a heavy bottom or cast iron pot. In this application, we're making virgin coconut oil, so we will use heat to extract the oil. I'll transfer it into a heavy bottom pot and then we'll go over to the stove. I'll turn my stove on medium to low heat. It's quickly starting to melt and the whole cooking process should take about 20 to 25 minutes. Eventually the cream and the curd will separate from the oil and starts to curdle. And because it still has moisture, it will splatter and it's hot. You want to be careful. I have a splatter guard I'm going to put over the pot. It's bigger than the pot, but it's okay. It's going to get the job done. We're going to cook it until the cream and the curd crystallize. We want to make sure the oil is fully dry and devoid of moisture. Otherwise, it could spoil. And guys, the shelf life for this oil is at least 1 year or maybe longer. It's starting to crystallize and change color. At this point, you want to keep stirring it. When you see transparent bubbles, take the heat off. This is good. I'll take the heat off and allow it to cool down before I strain it. Cooking with coconut oil is one of the many benefits you can get from it. It is also a blessing to beauty products. I use it on my hair, my skin, and I love to use it as a makeup remover. It does an extraordinary job getting rid of the dry mascara and eyeliner. We got 8 ounces of oil from the 3 coconuts. You may want to store it in a clean glass jar and keep it next to the stove if you're planning on cooking with it. And this is the crystallized cream and curd remains from the oil. It may look like a waste product, but it's not. We're going to refine this into a moisturizing body scrub. I'm adding it into a smoothie maker. I'm adding some honey, and I will process it into like raw sugar grains. You don't want it to be too big or too small. And guys, if you're going to do this step, please be careful. Make sure you're using a clean equipment. You don't want to use an equipment or blender that you're using to grind pepper or spices for your food. Otherwise, you can burn your skin when you rub it on. For me, this is a huge bonus in making coconut oil. This is like the purest, most natural body scrub. It is very effective to remove rough, dead skin, and it leaves your skin smooth and silky soft. I hope you guys will try this, especially if you have dry skin like me or hard water where you live. Your skin will feel like it has moisturizer if you rub it whilst taking a shower. I rubbed a little bit on my hand, washed it and wiped it off, and guys, it feels amazing. And production is over. We got some pure coconut oil, some coconut flour. The texture is not as smooth, but add some of it to your pancake batter and it will give it a distinct nutty flavor. And we got some natural exfoliating body scrub. This is definitely a win-win-win. As always, thanks for spending time with me. If you're enjoying my videos and wants me to keep uploading, please hit that subscribe button if you didn't yet and leave me a thumbs up. Stay safe. Love you guys.